Hello, magical souls. Welcome to Rising Voices. These are going to be conversations with the soul activators of the Rising of the Warrior Goddesses retreat happening this Labor Day weekend in Mount Shasta, August 28th to September 1st. And today we are going to be speaking with Korenna Aster, who is the creator and founder of Blue Heron Holistic Health, hearing about how she is going to bring her soul gifts and help activate yours in Mount Shasta. Korenna is a beautiful a Jack of Diamonds, King of Clubs. This is her Magi energy. So, Korenna, welcome to the
Mhm.
conversations with the Soul Activators.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's fun to be introduced with the Magi cards. This is a
Yes.
first.
And what I want to say about the Magi cards before we really dive into who you are, what you offer, what you're bringing to Shasta is that you and I have a very special connection. As I'm a 10 of diamonds and you're a Jack of diamonds, you and I have a sun moon connection, which is just really lovely to, I just love, ever since I've met Korenna, I love to support the work that she does. That is my role as moon to her as the sun in our connection. Just love to see what she is offering and support and encourage her on her journey. And so it's just a joy to be working with her in Mount Shasta. And Mount Shasta is kind of the culmination of the summer season. And this summer in the Joyful Soul Circle, this season is called Awaken the Creative Mind because summer is represented by the suit of the clubs in
Mm.
the Magi card science system. And this King of Clubs, Korenna isn't just any old club. She is the master of the mind card. So it's a special pleasure to have like a master in the house who's coming to share her soul gift. So no pressure
Right.
with,
Oh my
with that
goodness.
title. I mean, do you
Yeah.
resonate with that? Like what does it feel like to
Mm.
be a king in a woman's body, or what's your
Mm.
relationship with your mind? Maybe that'll be just
Yeah.
our question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, there's kind of a couple questions there. So I would say as far as being a club with the mental part of it, I mean I don't know if I could have necessarily said this in my 20s or anyway, but I feel like I have really been able to, at least as I've continued to grow older, just become more grounded in my mental. Just mental is not the right word I'm looking for. Just basically, uh, sorry, my mindset there, that's the word.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I have a very good mindset that I don't struggle the way a lot of people do. And obviously work with a lot of clients that I'm an empowerment coach. I do some other things we'll talk about in a little bit, but I hear people or just, see on social media like all the struggles that people go through mentally, emotionally. I'm not saying I don't have any struggles, of course I do. Um, I just think that I feel really blessed that I chose this path to come in with because I do kind of have a little bit more of that mastery, which it feels a little strange to say, but
It does, yeah,
yeah.
and I love what you just said that you chose to come in here with. This is absolutely a belief behind the system, is that we chose this soul contract, the life that we want to live out, the circumstances, the time, and that you chose to incarnate in as a very powerful, a very much a leadership position, but also one where you bring in soul gifts with you as that king of clubs. And that's part of the magic that I'll be sharing in Shasta is how these cards relate to our soul essence and can really reveal the ways in which we chose that we wanted to shine and express ourselves in this lifetime. So let's start in with
Mm.
your soul journey. And if you could share a little bit about how you became, I'm calling you the warrior goddess of breath work. I know you teach pranic breath work, and that is what you're bringing to the Shasta retreat. But tell us about your journey into that field and all of the amazing things that you have to offer.
Yeah, well, what got me into the pranic breathwork yoga in particular was the ending of a relationship. So,
Mm. Isn't that
just
often the case that what
bear with,
propels us
yeah,
forward? Every
yeah,
ending, a new beginning.
exactly. So yeah, it was obviously, painful yeah, point. And then I had a friend that was teaching a class that I started going to. It's a similar form, it's not quite the same, but I had started to go to that class and just got so much peace from it. And I was just like, wow, okay, this is what I need, like, to get my mind centered again, my heart centered, and just get through a tough time.
Hmm.
And then I think it was, well, I guess it was quite a few, almost 2.5 or 3 years later. She just asked, she was like, hey, there's a whole program starting. You can learn how to do this yoga if you want. And I was like, wow, really? I would love to do that. And it was post-COVID. And so it was online. So I didn't have to go travel a ton back and forth to California to learn from the school. So it was kind of a blessing, another one of the blessings that came out of that
Yeah.
situation, which, there were many, even though it didn't feel fun at the time. But
Right.
yeah, so
Isn't it amazing though how like a door can open like that and it opens like here's the easy path. Like not,
mhm,
that
yeah,
you could do this and you can get certified in something that has been really healing for you. And that's often how it happens, right? When we're
mm,
healing ourselves, we find the thing that's like, ooh, this is a tool that I can use to help others. So you
yeah,
you enrolled in the training post-COVID.
yeah, yeah. And then just, yeah, basically start teaching right afterwards. And yeah, I've just been so grateful for it as it's just helped me build emotional resilience. I feel like that's one of the greatest gifts that it has to offer. But you can even, yeah, just feel great after the class as far as like your energy goes. And people get so many benefits from it. It's very immune system boosting. And yeah, it's also a strength training exercise. Some classes are a little more gentle. Sometimes we're working on more nervous system recalibration. Sometimes we're more, um, yeah, a little bit more again, like, yeah, strengthening the lower or upper body, but you don't have to be super flexible. So I like that even though I've been practicing yoga for a long time, I can, invite in the grannies that I know, or, anybody of any body and ability, I feel like for the most part can really benefit from this. And so
So it's
it's a really
less of
beautiful
like
practice.
it's less of the bendy yoga and more of the,
Yeah.
well, like the breath, like connecting to the breath, really to the spirit of life. And that's, yeah.
Yeah.
How,
Yeah. And it's all
so,
standing.
and it's all standing. It's done in standing positions. Is that what you're
Yeah. So, I mean, just with that all standing form, it's not like we're having to do like downward dogs or again, yeah, just not some of those things that
saying?
sometimes we think of with typical yoga where some people are like, I cannot do that or don't want to do it or whatever it is,
Right, right.
So yeah. But then that powerful breath work with it all. And yeah, just so many benefits come in with that that are
It's
so amazing for
when you think
helping our
about,
heart and yeah.
yeah, when you think about the women specifically at this retreat that you're going to be leading, what is something that, or how is it that this work is going to be beneficial in their rising? What do you think that the women will walk away with, and perhaps by that question is like, how has it impacted you just generally, in your
Mm.
rising
Yeah,
this year?
well, again, it's such a balancing practice. And I think, there's so many practices, spiritual practices that can be, but because, it is, the body and the breath, I just feel like I'm not saying people shouldn't go meditate if that's what they love to do or whatever, but, it's always so nice to do a mindful movement. And so I'm just incredibly passionate about that. And then just again, the balancing, we're coming to Shasta to work on balancing our feminine and masculine energies. And finding a practice like this, it can really be that centering point that can, bring us into more of that goddess energy. And I know you'll be sharing more about that, but
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm super excited. When I think about this, whoops. When I think about just starting the day off with intention, I can see it. You're talking, and I am literally envisioning us, all of us there at the retreat center, starting a day with real reverence and connection, because a lot of times what happens in day-to-day life, and I am guilty as charged, is that our day can be often running before we're even mentally prepared or physically creating the space to fill our cups first. And this, I just see the experience with you starting the days by connecting with our breath and to our energy, and what a shift that makes. And it can be so simple, and it's such a you're going to empower all of the women there with tools that you can really come home to. And how, I mean, I guess there's that
Mhm.
practical side of me, that four of spades side of me. It's like, give me the structure. Typically, how long is a pranic breath experience? How long can it be? How
Mm.
short can it be to also receive the benefits?
Yeah, that's a great question too. My classes are typically an hour, but yeah, when I was in school and training, all of our classes were hour and a half. So if you wanted to ever, or they were hour and a half to 2 hour classes because there's a whole form that actually goes through the entire physical body. Of course, everything is
Hmm.
again along with the breath work, but it starts with just breath work and then we go, from the head basically to the toes, right? So that is a very intensive, beautiful practice that is very amazing that I would highly recommend anybody try with me eventually. And but even 30-minute or 20 to 30 minutes can be very powerful and, very transformative for your day, as far as, mentally, emotionally, at least. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so will participants walk away with like I know when I go home that I can do this practice, or a
Hmm.
certain type of like there are certain types of breath sequences that we'll be experiencing. And I know that a lot of what you do as a king is very intuitive as well, and that you use the energy of the group and what is necessary. So it's while
Mm.
the group is still we're still calling in the warrior goddesses, we don't know exactly who all is going to be there with us. When you think about that though, is there a specific tool that you think that people will walk away with, that they'll know like I can do this at home?
Well, the one that I think we'll be able to remember really well is the eye exercise. But the eye exercise, not only does it build our eye strength, but it actually, so there's a two-pointed focus to it, or maybe three-pointed. So we kind of start out with it being the focus on the eye strengthening, and then from there we actually focus on it being a third eye vision opening. Also just building your own intuition, which is very
Love that.
important for us, right?
Yeah.
And then I mean, just the fact that we are really literally just doing this one thing. It is a one pointed focus, like focusing exercise as well. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
all of those kind of combined. Yeah, and it's
Yay.
super easy to
I'm
remember. So
excited. I'm
yeah.
excited for this. So we talked a lot about breath work because that is part of what you are bringing and how you're going to help us activate and connect and, just be
Hmm.
in our bodies, like to start each day with this intentional sequencing of breath. However, like many healers, you have multiple offerings. So, and I know that there are some offerings that you're also going to make available, depending on what people want to do and how to use their downtime at the retreat. So, what are some other offerings that you have that you want to share with people to know a little bit more about the full picture of blue hair and holistic health?
Yeah. Well, so I am going to be offering the Ama therapy that I do, and Ama is a Korean bodywork form. It's acupressure and massage. I like to call it like acupuncture meets massage, but there's no needles. So it feels like a relaxing massage to a degree, although there's the acupoints that can sometimes be a little tender. But basically, it's just a very rebalancing form that is balancing all of the organ systems and just again can really get us either like very centered and grounded and or energized, kind of really meet you where you're at depending on what you're needing. But yeah, it's again, yeah, just gonna help kind of shift anything in the body that is needing recalibrated.
Yeah,
And
it's
even if
something because I had just experienced that with you. It was incredible, and I think that is such a brilliant description to say like massage meeting acupuncture, right? Like that it's
Mhm.
those pressure points that you hit on me. Now, if somebody is experiencing like a certain pain in their body, is that part of what aromatherapy can help? Like you can target a certain area because isn't it right
Yes.
that certain parts of our body are indicators of certain organs? Is that what you were trying to explain to me or showing me, reflecting back to me when I had some painful, I was like, oh, I'm feeling that's really tender area right there. And you're like, oh, that is your spleen or that is your liver.
Yes. Yep, yep. Spleen and liver are big ones. Yeah, so it can, yeah, definitely. I mean, people tend to see me when they're in pain, but again, it can be something that can be like a revitalizing session. So I can work out specific pain issues, whether it's headache, digestive issues, menstrual issues, shoulder pain, leg pain, back pain, all the different things, but or like yeah, healing more specific organs. So yeah, heart health, liver health, again, whatever that might be, stomach. So yeah, but yeah, so you'll kind of, I mean, either way, people, can either, I mean, they either like could come as being like, oh, I'm just wanting almost just a regular, relaxing, invigorating massage.
Mm,
And then they just get all these added extra benefits that are helping the body as well. So it's
right.
really
That's
amazing because
awesome.
it just, yeah,
Yeah.
resets the body. So
Yeah.
again, super amazing at balancing. And, I'm all about balancing apparently.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so important. It really is important to just like when we are at our best, we're not overly in our masculine, going, firing, doing energy, and nor are we too much in our receiving. And, when I say receiving, I like the fire in me is just like that is the side that always is diminished for me, like just the
Mhm.
the relaxing and the trusting energy. You can't be overly of either. It's like a beautiful balance of both. So it is so important
Yeah.
to notice if you are in your overly masculine energy or overly feminine energy or fire and flow energy, yin and yang, or I guess it would
Hmm.
be yang and yin energy to keep it aligned. But the other thing that really, again, going back to your King of Clubs, I was so amazed by your wisdom, everything that you know about the pressure points and where it relates to the organs in our body, and then also how to, like the little tips and tricks that you gave, not tips and tricks, but the suggestions that you gave for like even foods that would be nourishing for me right now, based on what you saw in my session. So the aromatherapy sessions are going to be an add-on, just an add-on, an additional bonus that you can treat yourself to. That'll be available at the Rising of the Warrior Goddesses retreat, and other offerings that you have that you want to let
Um,
people know about, or other parts of your mysticism?
yeah, I mean, I am also an astrologer, which I think is probably the biggest connection that Andy and I have. Andrea, you go by Andy or Andrea.
Andy,
Um,
Andrea,
have,
say
okay.
tomato, tomato.
What's that? Yeah, tomato, tomato. I love it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I do sidereal and Chinese astrology. So I have a YouTube channel, and yeah, so I kind of do right now it's like a bi-monthly, weekly, not a weekly, but a bi-monthly weather report, I guess, on the energies. And then so yeah, super passionate about astrology and just I also do ancestral energy clearing. So that's another thing that, again, just all the energy that's moving through us, and we're clearing out, not only stuff from our early childhood to heal ourselves, but sometimes we're carrying on our parents' things. And
Yeah.
just as I have worked initially with the body because of being a Chinese medical practitioner, we look at the whole body. It was always this holistic practice of, okay, I'm looking at the mental and emotional pieces and always bridging that with clients, and again bringing in the food therapy. And then it was became like, okay, well, if somebody's not progressing past that, I mean, there's the spiritual stuff, and then it's like, okay, well, what else, like if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing all these other things and then there's still some block, like
Yeah.
there has to be.
What's going on? Right. Yeah.
And again, it was me finding out for myself with my blocks with business, after being in business for 5 years, that I was just like, okay, I am struggling so much as a business owner. At that time, I felt like I was, and
Yeah.
again, just praying and found another coach that was doing this ancestral energy clearing. That's what I call it now. And um, went and got trained in it after I experienced it and had such amazing results. So it's like, yeah, there's so many things that, again, we just go through our pain. And
Yeah.
then I do empowerment coaching. And again, that was really something I it's kind of like life coaching, but that's, I got trained in that, again, because of the relationship ending. And I was like, wow, okay, obviously I have a lot of communication things that I need to work on to be a better,
Yeah.
you know, partner
Yeah.
in the future when I get that opportunity. And so, yeah,
Yeah, and
so much.
that's just so true. Like it is our life story, and I often say that our life is our certification in many ways because our life is going to lead us to the next thing. And when your soul is like, okay, I want to like you're drawn to studying something, to learning something, to use, equipping yourself with another modality that helps you understand yourself better. It's so empowering when then, for all of us, when we can take what works for us and what we're learning and really share it out with the world. And that is a huge reason why the rising of the warrior goddesses retreat is both bringing in soul activators, those who have activated some of their gifts and want to share them out, because right, like I can't do what you do, but I know how to invite you in, and I'm stoked that you're coming.
Yeah.
And then there are those that are just coming and really are like, well, what are my soul gifts? How do and are there to receive the wisdom and the whole experience so that they can find what connects with them and their souls and leads them to the next step on their soul journey. Because it's not always, what works for me isn't going to work for everybody. What works for you isn't going to work for everybody. But as a collective, when we gather as sisters and we share our wisdom, our knowledge, our learning, our passion, our joy with others, it's just incredible what can come forth. So once again,
Mhm.
Rising of the Warrior Goddesses retreat happening over Labor Day weekend in Mount Shasta. Active enrollment going on now. You can find out more in the description. But let's wrap this up with a couple fun questions. If you had a spirit animal guiding your warrior goddess at essence, what would it be and why?
Well, the one that pops into my head is the Black Panther.
Ooh, tell me
Yeah. And,
more. Black Panther. Tell
um,
me more about the Black Panther.
I mean, it kind of feels like it would embody some of that Black Moon Lilith energy.
Mm.
So yeah, just some of, I mean, having, again, it's a cat, so having some of those intuitive, psychic abilities, and yeah, just being in touch with, the earth and its body. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I'm like, haven't articulated all of
Yeah,
this
and
yet.
I
So
also
I'm
see it like as a the Black Panther, right, as a shadow
right.
creature, and that's
Yes.
and
Thank you.
obviously that is of course associated with Black Moon Lilith, but but
But
but
yeah,
the shadow side and part of what we
yes.
do as healers, and specifically what I see you doing is helping people to safely access the shadow, particularly if it's that ancestral work, right? Like there are things that we could be carrying with us that really aren't ours to carry, that we brought forth and they're ours to clear, but you have to be willing to access the dark spaces. So I love that. The
Mhm.
Black
Yeah.
Panther. What
Yeah.
about a big part of my passion is music and using music as a creative outlet and a source of healing. And I always say when words fail, music speaks. If there were a song that represents your current energy, do you have one that maybe you want to share?
Oh, that represents my current energy. Okay. Well, I don't know, but let's see there. Um, yeah, I was thinking of, hang on, I got a song here. Okay, well, I don't know if it embodies exactly how I feel right now, but it kind of embodies more of the retreat energy, I
Yeah.
guess. It's We Will Not Be Silenced by Olivia Fern.
I love Olivia
Yeah.
Fern. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay. I will send it to you right away.
Okay. Oh, good. I mean, her
Yeah.
voice is just, it's so beautiful. We
Hmm.
will not be silent. What is it about that
Really
song that
powerful.
is jumping front? Is there a lyric in it or is it the melody or
I mean, it's mainly she's saying, yeah, we will not be silenced. We are the daughters of the witches that were burned. Like we came back. Like I do believe that most of us that are here right now in this incarnation, a bunch of us, were either there at that time with all the burning or before or after, we were in that lineage that we're just
Yeah.
like, and we're healing that. So yeah, I'm getting like
Oh,
goosebumps about this.
oh,
So
I just got goosebumps all up and down my body. That really
yeah.
speaks. We talked about the warrior goddess archetypes as well, and so many of us do have this deep witch wounding, from being
Mm-hmm.
being a natural healer, using the elements, using the natural world to heal, and being what was the word? Well, burned for it.
Yeah.
Silence for it. So I
Well,
love that we will not be silenced. And yeah, that is part of
yeah.
the women rising into their power right now, like claiming our power, remembering who we are, where we came from, our strength, our force, and how much that we need to come together. We need to come
Mm-hmm.
together, activate each other together, and go forth and create the change in our and surroundings and be that change. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
in one word, and this is hard for me. I'm a big 10 energy. I talk about that all the time. Like I don't have one word, I have 26 words. No, but if there were one word that
Yeah.
what is it that you want women to feel at the end of this retreat?
I guess I'd just say empowered. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And
I
that's
have to
part
pick
of
one
what
word.
yeah, no, I that was actually it's interesting because that was the word that I was thinking myself. If I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
one word, I want women to feel empowered. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
much empowerment is about knowing who you are, unapologetically claiming your the good, the messy, the ugly, the real, the beautiful, everything that is a part of your soul essence, and being like, this is me. That's one of the songs on my playlist from Awaken the Warrior Goddess. It's the song that I would perform with, if I can have costumes and lights and background dancers, I would do This Is
Mm-hmm.
Me from The Greatest Showman, because it is like so authentic. Like, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I came here to be. And to share my light, and how I do it is different from how you do it, Korenna, and how you do it is different from the next warrior goddess and the next and the next and the next. But we
Mm-hmm.
all have our unique light that we are meant to shine. So I'm excited to
Absolutely.
activate it with you, with the warrior goddesses in Mount Shasta at the end of this summer, or the non-official end of summer season, Labor Day weekend. If people want to know more about you right now, they don't want to wait for Shasta, what is the easiest way for people to follow, like, subscribe, get on your mailing list, any of those things? Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Yeah. And I
find.
just wanted to say really quick too that like a lot of it is this throat chakra activation because that's, one of the biggest wounds. But I mean, sometimes it's more solar plexus, sometimes we're able to speak up to a point. But again, there can be different layers, but just kind of back to that, like healing that witch wound, right? And activating that so that we can all bring forth our gifts. So again, yeah,
Yeah.
I see us all doing that. So but yeah, you can find me at my website, blueheronholistic.health.com. I also have a YouTube channel, as I mentioned. It's Korenna Aster. And it'll be in the link, I know,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'll put all the links in the description for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I am so delighted that you took a little bit of time out of your day to share a little bit about what you will be bringing to the Warrior Goddesses. And yeah, just excited for our journey forward to through the summer season together. And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thank you again for having me, for inviting me into this wonderful sisterhood circle of women rising up. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. There will be more rising voices, conversations with the soul activators coming to you, but this is our first one with Korenna Aster of Blue Heron Holistic Health, here to activate your pranic yoga breath at the Rising of the Warrior Goddesses retreat this summer, coming to Mount Shasta. See you next time for the next conversation. Until then, here's to love and joy in the journey. Ciao for now.